Costume Commentary. We're your ghost hosts, Kate
and Brit, and today we're talking about a new-ish film. Feels like forever since we saw it. The Girl on the Train, and I want to see it again.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, we'll probably be talking not about the very end, but about some important plot details. So if you want to go in with a completely clean slate, watch the movie first.
Yeah. I was so worried after loving the book so much that I wasn't going to enjoy the movie at all.
Yeah.
And I have to own this movie and watch it like once a month.
I think my favorite thing about it was the fact that no one seemed like, okay, she's obviously innocent, or he's obviously innocent, or she's obviously the one who did it, or whatever. Everyone was like, wow, you all kind of suck and maybe murdered a person.
That book and movie make me want to stop drinking. I don't drink to the point where I get drunk anymore, but I don't ever want to black out again, because what if I murdered somebody?
Please don't murder me. I'm actually wearing my favorite murder shirt though, so it would be appropriate.
So let's talk about the ladies here. I want to start with Megan because that's the first one that comes to mind with how like the costumes like subtly showed her character. Especially in the scenes where she is visiting her therapist. She's wearing a lot of shorter skirts and a lot of tight shirts that really show her desire to have multiple facets to her life. She's using these subtle clothing pieces to kind of like be like, yeah, look at these. In the scene that we last see her, she's actually a lot more dressed down. She's wearing a pair of jeans and she's wearing this puffy orange vest. It shows that she's not in a point where she's wanting to have a sexual encounter. She's actually going out there to tell a big secret. It changes that person who's become the mother of self-reinvention to actually becoming the mother of something else. Another character who the costuming really adds to showing you something is wrong is Rachel. On the outside, you get a first glance at her. She looks like a very well put together woman. She looks like she's on her way to work. And then you noticed her buttons undone in the wrong way, and you notice that her jacket's not exactly sitting on her right. You notice that she's carrying her purse in a weird fashion because it's weighed down with alcohol bottles. I just love the subtle hints that it gave us that something wasn't right with her. The layers that they put her in, showing how she's traveling back and forth and shedding layers as she goes and putting things back on, and it shows the layers of her character. One character who I thought was a little lackluster, but I still enjoyed her costuming, was Anna. Anna, her main goal in the entirety of the film is to protect her child. It really does a good job of showing, you know, a new mother who is focusing all her energy on the child and less energy on herself, whereas she did before in the scenes where she showed her where she's very well done up and looks like she's put a lot of effort into herself, and now she's a mother and she's taking time away from herself to devote to her child. So her costumes are very simplistic, but there are times when it looks like she's trying to dress up to maintain her dignity and her selfness. I thought that was a really great character choice for her to make her a lot more dressed down. With the other characters, with how subtle things were and how it all built together, I felt like she was a little bit lackluster. Now I know that Brit had a very strong eye on the men in this film, so why don't you tell us about that?
That sounds so risque, but I just happen to like menswear. So there are three main men in this film, equal to the three main women in this film, and that would be Kamal, who's the therapist, Scott, who's Megan's husband, and Tom, who is Rachel's ex-husband and Anna's current husband. They all have very different outfits, which I love because fashion tends to focus more on women and menswear isn't as varied, but there are definitely still different styles for men, but sometimes movies forget that. Like they make their women wildly different and then the men are all like, oh well, whatever, it's fine. Just put them all in this, and this movie didn't do that, which I really liked. Tom is he almost looks like a politician.
Yeah.
Very put together, except for in scenes where he's not. There's a scene where he's wearing a long coat and I believe gloves and a scarf that literally comes up to here. You can almost see none of his skin except for his face. And something about that outfit was very off-putting, and he just keeps so much of himself closeted. So the second one would be Kamal, who is the therapist for Megan, and his costumes absolutely give him this aura of almost like fatherliness.
Yeah.
He's got this Mr. Rogers vibe of sweaters and the collar, and he looks like a dad or like a trustworthy figure. And lastly, you have Scott, who's Megan's husband, and he's wildly different from either either of these two because he feels like the wild card out of the men, wearing like low-rise jeans to where like when he lifts his hands up you can see his like Calvin Kleins. He has a little bit more of like a down-to-earth, not so politician or fatherly, definitely much more younger vibe, but also a bit of like a dangerous vibe, and so you get these feelings about him like, So do you want to jump right into favorites and least favorites?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do bad news first. Which one's your least favorite?
My least favorite would have to be the first outfit that Megan wears to go see the therapist. It's this looser skirt that she bundles up and like drags up her leg. I didn't like it because it gave me the right feeling of that like cheater vibe. Like she's showing leg on purpose, but she's trying to do it in a really sly way. I just felt like the white t-shirt and the skirt felt a little bland for what I imagined her character to be, especially like after reading the book. It gave me the right kind of wrong vibes. What about you?
My least favorite is actually one of Anna's outfits, and it's a similar reason. Like, it absolutely fits her character. I didn't like it, and I also didn't get it while we were watching it. I didn't make that connection until you were just saying, like, she looks kind of disheveled because she's making sacrifices to care for her kid. While watching it, for some reason, I think because the baby is focused on so little, I didn't even think of that. I was like, the wife of a wealthy dude living in this fancy area, and she has all these nice clothes, but her hair is always like, and now I'm like, but it's still, I think it's a white shirt. It felt very like Coldwater Creek, which is a mom brand. Surprise, actually, we have the same favorite. It's Rachel.
Yes.
And not just one outfit, her styling as a whole.
It really gives you the sense of her being an alcoholic and her life spiraling out of control without even actually having to say those things. The subtleness of it, I wish that more costumers for movies would take that into account, that subtleness really adds.
My favorite sequence was actually during a scene where she's having what she believes are flashbacks, but they're actually false memories that have been fed to her. But she's remembering what she looked like. You don't realize until those flashbacks how different she looks now because you haven't seen her before. Made it very, very clear how far she's fallen down into this like hellhole of alcoholism. It's just so clear, like, this is the person that she is when she just can be herself, and that's not the person she is now because she is like, it's taken over her life.
It's also added like 10 years to the way that she looks.
Yes.
Props to the makeup department.
Oh my gosh.
Because you think in movies and you're like, oh, Hollywood movie, it's gonna be all really nicely done. The subtle things they do with her makeup, like, she looked like she has like 3-day-old eyeliner on. It's amazing.
She has like broken blood vessels underneath her eyes.
Yeah.
She definitely, like, even though she sort of got a make under for this film because Emily Blunt is very beautiful, she still manages to be like, that's the main character.
Go see this movie.
Magical.
Go see this movie. No matter what. Read the book, watch the movie. Don't matter what order they're in. They're both fantastic.
I have not read the book, as seems to be the norm. I read books. Not having read the book, I thought it was amazing.
One thing that I really want to talk about with this film and this book is that if you have an alcohol problem, there is help out there. There are lots of programs, there is lots of online help, there are people who are willing to talk to you. If you are in an abusive relationship, there is also help for you. There is a way out. You can get out and you can have a life afterwards. We're going to put in links down below for all of these things that if you need help with, because you're not alone and you don't have to go through this alone. If you like this video, or if you like this movie, or if you like the book and you haven't seen the movie yet, please give this video a like. We really enjoy seeing all of your likes on there. It makes our day. If there's any TV show, video game, movie, anything that has costumes in it that you'd like us to do a review of.
This coming Wednesday, we're going to be doing a review of Lady Mechanica, which is a comic book series. So if you want to see that, make sure to click subscribe so you'll be notified as soon as it comes out.
Thanks for watching!
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a essence on my face to prep it, and this is Makeup's Raw Sauce. And then I'm going to do a moisturizer, which is Glossier's. Now I'm using Glossier's Skin Tint all over my face. It's a sheer foundation.